Hey everyone, today I'm super excited to share what I've learned about the Hollyland Lark Max 2. Super dope system. But here's what really blew me away. The wireless monitoring capability combined with 32-bit float recording. These two features together are seriously game-changing. I know audio gear can feel like a maze, so I want to walk you through this system in a way that actually makes sense. Let's talk about the build and design. Let me start with what you'll actually be touching every day. These transmitters are incredibly lightweight, just 14 grams each, which means your talent won't feel weighed down. The hover clip system is really clever. It gives you flexibility in how you attach them without looking bulky on camera. What I really dig is the charging case. It's about the same size as a small camera battery charger. But here's the cool part. It holds enough power to recharge everything about 2.5 times. That means you're looking at roughly 36 hours of total use before you need to find an outlet, which is awesome for long shoot days or when you're traveling. Battery life is rated at 11 hours per transmitter, and I consistently squeeze just over 10 hours in real world use. That's truly impressive and removes a lot of the anxiety around running out of power mid-interview. Compare that to the headache of powering a professional field recorder plus all the monitoring gear I used to need. This is refreshingly simple. Audio quality and recording. Now, let's talk about the feature that really makes this special, 32-bit float internal recording. If you're not familiar with this, it's essentially like having an insurance policy against bad audio. The transmitters record internally with such a wide dynamic range that you almost literally can't clip the signal. What does this mean for your work? I tested it by having someone whisper really quiet and then suddenly speak very loudly, and both were perfectly usable in post-production. No more worrying about setting levels perfectly or losing a great take because someone got excited and spoke too loud. This used to require a $700 plus professional field recorder to achieve this kind of recording safety net. The audio quality itself is solid. The frequency response covers the full 20 Hz to 20 kHz range, and the signal to noise ratio sits at around 72 dB. The included lavalier microphones do have a slight brightness to them. There's a little boost in the 4 to 8 Hz range that can make S's sound a bit more prominent. It's not a deal breaker, but it's good to know about. Let's talk about wireless performance. So for wireless performance, this system uses 2.4 gigahertz adaptive frequency hopping. In plain English, it's smart about sniffing out clear frequencies to avoid interference. In open outdoor spaces, I was able to get about 330 meters before the signal dropped out. Indoors, with lots of Wi-Fi and other wireless devices around, that dropped to about 35 meters, which is totally normal for this kind of setup. The latency is really snappy at around 19 milliseconds. This means you can monitor the audio in real time without that annoying delay that makes it so hard to actually listen to. Monitoring and workflow features. Now here's where this system really takes center stage, and this is honestly my favorite part, the true wireless monitoring. You can listen to your audio directly from the receiver. This is incredibly handy when you're working solo or need to roam around while monitoring audio. Let me put this in perspective. I used to create these elaborate contraptions with an AirFly Pro, shocks, wireless headphones, a bunch of adapters, and a professional field recorder just to achieve wireless audio monitoring. It was expensive, complicated, and took quite a bit of time to set up. This system does all of that in one compact package, y'all. Oh my goodness. The AI noise reduction is interesting, but requires some nuance. Hollyland claims it can reduce ambient noise by up to 25 dB, and it does work on things like the air conditioner hum or street noise, that gets suppressed. But it can also make voices sound a bit processed if you crank it up too hard. I suggest using it sparingly and only when you really, really need to use it. For those working on multi-camera projects, the timecode sync is a nice little bonus. It works accurately and integrates well, which can save you time in post-production. Again, this is functionality that used to require separate, expensive gear. What works well and what to consider. Here's what I absolutely love about this system. The compact design makes it easy to work with, and the battery life is phenomenal. The 32-bit float recording really does eliminate those heart-stopping moments when you realize you might have clipped important audio. Having both the hot shoe receiver and the USB-C receiver included means you can flexibly adapt to different shooting scenarios. But honestly, the wireless monitoring is what makes this a winner. No more carrying around an AirFly Pro wireless headphones and a tangled bundle of adapters just to monitor audio remotely. The range and low latency makes it reliable for most shooting situations, and the additional features like AI noise reduction and timecode sync add serious value to your workflow. What to keep in mind. Those lavalier mics are a bit bright, so you might want to warm them up a bit in post or consider different capsules if that bothers you. The noise reduction, while useful, can make voices sound unnatural if you overuse it. And if you're working in super challenging RF environments, this 2.4 gigahertz system won't be as robust as professional UHF systems. But for most of us, it's more than enough. So who is this for? Let me be upfront about who I think will get the most value from this system. If you're a solo creator, YouTuber, or a filmmaker who's tired of juggling multiple pieces of gear just to monitor audio properly, this is probably spot on for you. It's especially great for people doing interviews, podcasts, or any situation where you need to move around while staying connected to your audio. Content creators who are scaling up from basic gear but aren't ready to invest in a full professional audio setup will find this hits a sweet spot. If you've been frustrated by the limitations of your current wireless mic system, or if you've been avoiding wireless altogether because of complexity, this removes a lot of the barriers. It's also excellent for educators, corporate video producers, or anyone doing live streaming where reliable, simple audio monitoring is crucial, but you don't want to manage a complex audio beast. If you're an audio purist who does a lot of critical listening and needs the absolute cleanest, most transparent audio path, you might prefer a more traditional setup with a dedicated field recorder and wired monitoring. The convenience features here do a touch of processing to the signal chain. And if you're someone who already has a dialed-in professional audio workflow that you're happy with, this might be solving problems you don't actually have. Sometimes the gear you know inside out is better than the gear with more features. In conclusion, what I love most about the Lark Max 2 is how it consolidates so many essential features into one simple system. The wireless monitoring alone replaces a whole mess of gear I used to carry. No more AirFly, shocks, headphones, and professional field recorder setups. The 32-bit float recording is just the icing on the cake, giving you that professional grade recording safety net. It's not perfect, but it's thoughtfully designed for the kinds of challenges we actually face when creating content. The monitoring options truly simplify complex workflows, the battery life reduces stress, and the form factor makes it easy to work with. I hope this breakdown helps you understand whether the system might work for your projects. Audio gear can be intimidating, but when you find something that just works reliably, it frees you up to focus on the creative work that actually matters. I am the Chef Gal, and you just got the recipe.